Welcome back, student. How are you all? I hope you all are doing great. So today we are going to learn how to install Python on our computers. Initially, I will explain the process to you, and later on, I will do the process and show it to you. So I had requested you all to watch this particular video on a computer or a laptop so that you could do it simultaneously with me. All right. The last class, you all saw that Python, it's a programming language. It is the widely used general purpose, high level programming language, the one that we are going to learn this year. It is developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991. I had asked you all to find some applications that run on Python program and write down the names of those applications in the comment section of this video. So this Python is used for software development, web development, that is server side, system scripting, mathematics, and many more places. There were many advantages of Python that I told, especially how it will help you, that it is easy to use because syntax rules are simple. Syntax rules are like English grammatical rules that we have. Similarly, programming languages also have rules and they are called syntax rules. It's an interpreted language. This I had told you all in amongst the first classes that programming language can be of two types. It can either be compiled or be interpreted. We had spoke about the differences between an interpreted language and a compiled language. In an interpreted language like Python, every line is executed line by line and mistakes or errors are solved line by line. Whereas in a compiled program that is like a C++ or Java, the entire thing is compiled together and all the errors are displayed also together in one go. So Python is an interpreted language and execution of the code and interpretation is done line by line. Also, it is a cross-platform language. That means it can run on Windows, Linux, Macintosh, etc. It is an expressive language. That means it has less code to be written, another advantage for you. And it expresses itself for the purpose of the code very easily in few lines. Completeness because it also has a wide range of libraries. Libraries are something you will learn very soon, but you will apply and use it a little later. It is also a free and open source. That means what we're going to do today, we are going to download it. It can be downloaded freely, and the source code can also be modified for improvement. So they even give you the source code and they let you change or modify the source code according to your own requirement. We had also spoken about the shortcomings or limitations of Python. Number one is it has lesser libraries as compared to C++ and Java. So although it is an advantage over here that it supports a wide range of library we speak about in features, it is also a limitation because if you compare it to other programming languages, then the library seems smaller. Okay. It is a slow language because it is an interpreted language. That means each and every line will get executed line by line and every time you run the program. Whereas in Java and C++, once you compile it and it is error free, then the program file is made and you can easily run the program file directly without compiling the code again and again and again. But in an interpreted language, every time you run the program, every time each and every line is checked for errors and checked. So once your program is ready and it is error free, still the next time it will at least do the error checking. So it is time consuming. It is weak on type binding. Type is data type, the kind of data that we have. You will learn this. We will learn this when we start using the language. You will realize that We have a feature called dynamic typing, something I had mentioned yesterday. You will understand this feature when we start using Python, and you will understand just like lesser libraries and libraries an advantage and disadvantage. Similarly, type binding or dynamic typing is an advantage and a disadvantage. It is not pinpoint on use of a single variable for different data types, like it is in other programming languages. So most of the shortcomings become a shortcoming when you compare it with other languages. Okay, now we are going to learn how to install Python. It's a two-step process. You will download it from the internet and you will install it. I think this is same for almost all the softwares. Yes, you download it and you install it. Where will you download it from? You have to download Python distribution. You have to go to this site. I know you can't click on it in the video. You can write it down and you can type it out and you can go to this website. Remember, when you download only that Python distribution which is suited for your operating system. Even when I will show you this practically, don't download what I am downloading. Download what suits your operating system. By now, you should know what is your operating system, what is your RAM, how many bits it is, 32-bit system you have or 64-bit system. You should know your hardware very, very well. If you don't know, Google search and find out from your computers what is your hardware configuration of your system or computer or laptop, whatever you are using. You should know your hardware very, very well. So once you go there and you will select which Python distribution you want, you will download it. After downloaded, you will double click the application file that is downloaded and a pop-up like this will open and you are going to click on run. Then you will get a setup pop-up. Over here, you will, if you have an earlier version of Python installed on your computer, you will get a message which says install now instead of upgrade now. So depending, if you don't have at all, you will get install now. If you already have, you will get upgrade now. Okay, so that part will differ depending on what you have. So this will change depending on what you have. Also pay attention to these check boxes at the end. Please tick mark both of it. If this is upgrade now, these check boxes may not come. But if this is install now, these check boxes will come and you will select them. Okay. You may get this if you're not an admin or something like that. An account control pop-up box, just click on yes. Do you want them to make changes? Say yes. And you will see that a progress bar will come, which will show you the progress of the setup. Soon, a new Python version setup pop-up box will come, which will tell you that setup was successful. Now, at times, setup may not be successful. So what will you do? A, you do the entire process again. If it's still unsuccessful, you will do it again. If it's still unsuccessful, after 3 attempts, I want you all to get in touch with me and let me know with a screenshot of the error that comes on your screen. 99%, I am sure no one will get any errors and you will be able to install Python very easily. Once Python is installed, you should know how to work in Python. There are 2 ways to work in Python. One is an interactive mode and one is a script mode. In interactive mode, you get the answers immediately as soon as you type it. Okay, so this is the way you open interactive mode. Not needed. I will teach you another way. So this, you can see this black screen. That is the kind of prompt box you get. So this is a Python distribution when you download it. What I'm going to download is a little different, and you will download that. When you click the start button, all programs, you're going to download the IDLE, which is the graphical user interface of Python. You're going to work from here. If you look, you will see there are three dots, three prompts here. These prompts indicate you are in an interactive mode. Okay. This is the Python command prompt. These three, I don't actually know the word for it right now. Let's just call it prompt. So if you type the following at the prompt, that means you type print hello in inverted commas, print 8 into 3, print 3 raised to 3, k equals to 3 plus 4 multiplied by 3, and then print k. These things can be written here, and as soon as you will write one line, you will get its answer, and you will get three prompts again. We will see this happening. This is just an explanation to prepare you for what to expect. In script mode, although, in script mode, when you type, you will not get the result immediately. When you type, the script mode will allow you to save all the programs and all the commands into a file. That means you can save it for future use. In interactive mode, you cannot save anything for future use. You will have to close it. So you can see, I would like to recall RAM and secondary memory and primary memory here. So RAM was something where you did things, and when you shut down the computer, everything went away. Interactive mode is like RAM. Whatever you do at that moment, it will give you the answers, but later on, it will be wiped out when you come back. In script mode, you can make a file of those commands and save it in your computer so that when you come back the next day, you can work on those files again, on those commands, and you can build on to it, or you can save it to come back to it later. But in interactive mode, there is no save feature. Okay, it's the major difference between script mode and interactive mode, and we will be working with both of it. All right. So I will now show you how to install it. Okay, so I have opened my browser and I'm going to Google Python IDLE. Okay, search for Python IDLE and open the first link because it will always be python.org downloads. You will go out there and you will download the latest version. If you are looking for any other operating system with a different OS, okay, this is for the latest version of Windows, which is my computer, which works for my laptop. If you're using another version, please search for the correct version. If it is Mac or Linux, whatever, search for it. I'm just going to use the download button and download the software. Like you can see at the bottom here, I had already downloaded before, and hence you can see two files. Just click on the file. Double click on the file. I have installed now, which means that particular software was not on my computer before. I had uninstalled it for you all. I'm going to click on this checkbox. Very important, don't forget to do it. And then I'm going to click on install now. You will say yes. You complete the installation. You will have to be patient there, okay? This will take time. Have patience. Patience is one thing you have to learn in computer science. Patience and thinking, especially logical thinking. Okay, so this is done and you're going to click on close. So this is installation of Python. How do you check if it's installed though? Click on your start button. I'm just going to share my screen so you can see it. Okay, so now you can see my screen. Click on the start button, type IDLE, and when you type IDLE, you should get Python IDLE right here. Click on it. When you click on it, it will open. And right here, you can see those 3 ampersand signs, which is the prompt. And we will do one small program. This is the interactive mode. So everything I type here, I will immediately get my answer. So I'm writing print. Hello world. Can you see the word hello world in blue? That is my output. You can see print in purple. That is my keyword. And you can see hello world. That was the input. That is what I wanted to type. All right. So other options I can do is 5 multiplied by 3 and enter. I get 15. If I do 5 multiplication 3, it becomes raised to 5 raised to 3. I get 125. And these don't even require the print statement. So if I write print and then write 5 multiplied by 3, I'll still get the same answer. Okay, but when I'm working in the script mode, if I only write 5 multiplied by 3, I will never get an answer. In script mode, print statements have more weight. It is required. In interactive mode, it's more for checking, just to check if your code is going to work. And so you can directly type the code. Another thing, if I write a capital P in print and then I write something, it'll give me an error because Python is case sensitive. Okay, so over here I'm going to stop. We are not going to start with the script mode, and we are going to do many more programs in the next class. Homework till next class would be to install Python and keep it ready. Future onwards, all our classes should be taken on a laptop or a computer. If unavailable, you can take on a in your mobile or tab or wherever, but you'll have to write down everything and practice it. Okay, so I would prefer if you have a laptop or a computer where you can take the program. Okay, with this I end today's class. Stay home and stay safe. Take care and keep learning.